Hi and welcome, legends. Today, let's go through some fundamental news and is the price of Bitcoin going up? Also, I'm keeping an eye on one of my favorite altcoins, which I'll share the analysis in today's update. Stay tuned to not miss out on any alpha. Also, come and trade with me. Down here in the description of this video, you will see two of my favorite exchanges that I use to buy my crypto, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and most of my spot bags and Solana and all the favorite altcoins that I truly love. Here on Bybit, 20% reduction in fees when you buy coins, trading it to the upside or to the downside using a features account, or Mexi, where you don't have to KYC, 20k bonus when you sign up one of the exchanges with the lowest fees. Go down into the description right now, sign up with one of these two exchanges to benefit from these amazing deals. Right, first up, let's go through some fundamentals. Okay, April 3 final inflows for US Bitcoin ETFs of 114 million, and you can see we had that little dip that also translate back to the price of Bitcoin, where we had the dip, a little bit of a sell-off over here, but now it looks like the inflows are starting to kick into the green again. Okay, so some bullish news for Bitcoin out there. Next up, the former president of PayPal is now helping the largest US Bitcoin exchange integrate the Lightning Network. Bullish news indeed. Right, next up, plenty of dry powder was minted yesterday. Tether Treasury minted $1 billion in USDT. Treasury also minted 250 million on Solana. That's a lot of cheddar. No coincidence that every time fresh stablecoins are minted, crypto prices go up. Okay, only time will tell, and we'll analyze the price of Bitcoin in a moment. Next up, Bitcoin Manga writes the Bitfinex sellers move their asks to $71,000. Good sign we go there in the coming days. I still see a lot of bidders trying to catch the dip. Any dip lower is likely a bear trap based on what I observe. TikTok. So basically Bitcoin Manga is saying that any movement down here, perhaps, and I will analyze that fifth wave that I can still expect here to the downside, is definitely a buying opportunity to consider. Right, next up, Bitcoin halving in 15 days and counting. Right, everyone excited about the halving. It could potentially just be a nothing burger based on the previous cycles where the halving kicks in and only a couple of weeks or a month or two later, then the price really starts to rally. So are we still going to see a deeper correction before the halving, or is the correction done? Bitcoin reaccumulation coming to an end, and here you can see, following this model over here, where we have now formed the creek, where here's the creek, and expecting momentum, massive momentum here to the upside to go and claim all-time highs once again. Right, is this really the creek, or can we expect still one move to the downside where everyone's talking about that would be the perfect buying opportunity? But as you know, the market is here to surprise us and perhaps front-running that last dip to expect momentum to the upside where we just move up from here. Right, next up, remember altcoin season is yet to come. Right, and just looking at the Bitcoin dominance chart over here, I also wanted to just show you guys Bitcoin dominance that I've drawn up here as well. It looks like kind of a bearish pattern over here, and we are struggling to break through this resistance over here. Local resistance around about the 54.5% mark. Okay. What this could mean is that if we lose this channel here to the downside, we could expect a massive altcoin rally within the next couple of months. Right, breaking this resistance and flipping it into support, I see the next area of major resistance around about the 60% mark, where the true altcoin season could potentially only start kicking in during 2025. Just in, Apple exploring the creation of home robots as the next big thing. Okay. Not really crypto related, I just found it interesting. If you have watched the movie with Will Smith, I think, and iRobot, it just has the same feel and vibe to it, and it would be interesting to have one of these in your house, cleaning the dishes, vacuuming the floor. Who knows? I mean, world is truly getting exciting. Next up, total market cap of AI crypto is going to trillions, currently at 25 billion. Don't fumble the biggest chance to make life-changing money. Trillions. This is just the start. And from what we can see here, this bull cycle has a strong narrative around AI tokens. Definitely not a bad idea to make sure that you have some exposure to some of the good AI tokens out there, of which one of my favorites is Render. Right, let's dive into the price of Bitcoin. Right, looking at Bitcoin here on the 4-hour time frame, I just want to, sometimes you zoom out just to see where you are from a macro perspective or from a higher time frame perspective, and it still looks like we are inside of this triangle. And they do usually fake out either to the upside or to the downside, but nonetheless, we are inside of this range. I think even when I take a fixed volume profile and I just draw a little profile over here, you can see that we are currently inside of this range, and it does mean that this range can still continue until we get to the end of this triangle, for then only a true breakout or a fake out to the downside. Okay, just taking this out. So from a larger time frame perspective, it does look like there could still be a possibility that we come and tap. Let me just switch my magnet off. We tap the bottom of this channel, and this is perhaps that dip that everyone is waiting for, is to say that perhaps we have one more dip down, and then we have the recovery back to the upside to come and claim the liquidity above the 72k level. And as per some of my previous updates, you know that there is a massive amount of liquidity above these highs. So is this the move that's just going to take us up from here, or are we first going to dip down and then come and grab the liquidity above, and then we'll assess the price action when we get to these levels? One thing I want to focus on right now for this analysis is this little structure over here. So let's go into the 15-minute and just analyze what is going on there. Right, let's go. Here into the 15-minute, you will see, okay, I am tracking this momentum here to the downside. And I know, Andy, shout out to you. This could potentially be a bump and run scenario where you have the first tap, the second tap, you have the bump to the downside, and you are expecting a breakout here to the upside to come and claim this high and also that beautiful liquidity here at the $72,000 level. So definitely still a bump and run scenario that could play out here. Okay. Next scenario I wanted to take you guys through is that, just make sure that you track this momentum here to the downside. We are breaking out, but I don't really see any high volume kicking in just as yet. Volume is tapering down here at the moment. Okay, and that is a bit concerning. For momentum to remain to the upside, you really want to see green volume starting to kick in over here. Okay, so what I'm also watching during this range over here is to say that when you take a fixed range profile, and I just draw it over here, and we zoom into this structure to see, well, can this momentum line over here connecting the lowest point over here to this higher low that we've made here, will this be the road that takes us back to that 72k level? Definitely a possibility, but we have to acknowledge that we are still inside of this range over here, and we can range for a little bit longer before we have the true breakout. So although it looks like we have broken the trend over here, I'm still a bit concerned about the low volume at the moment. So for me to switch bullish, I would like to see a breakout out of this zone, okay? Not a deviation that happened over here, a breakout with high green volume kicking in, flipping this area into support that could potentially send us to higher prices. Then we still have to compete with this point of control over here, where we could SFP, come down, make yet again a higher low for continuation back to the upside. So I am keeping this momentum here in mind. If this will be what I call the highway that's going to potentially take us out of this little low that we've made over here, or are we going to reject? This is another scenario that I'm watching. Just clean it up here quickly. Is that there is still a potential for a fifth wave here to the downside. And let me explain. Okay, let's just take this fixed range out the way. Is to say that this is still potentially a 1, 2, 3, and we are busy with a fourth wave over here where we could still reject by this point of control, making a final fifth wave at the bottom of this trend that I've just highlighted, which can provide a nice little buying opportunity. Okay, and then you get acceptance back above the lows over here, also back inside the value area low that I've highlighted on the higher time frames. Okay, you get a deviation below, you tap the trend, you get acceptance back above, and that to me would be the ultimate long ticket to the upside. Okay, but we have to consider that we might not get the fifth wave, where this is a 3-wave corrective structure to the downside, and what that means is that this is a B, C, and the correction has come to an end, and we are now slowly going to grind ourselves out of this low that we've made over here to potentially come and claim the top of this highs again to come and grab that liquidity. So it's all about observing the price reaction as we hit each level, but I will definitely, any long attempts inside of this area, I will definitely consider this point of control a profit-taking area. To flip bullish from this area over here, still, as always, you want to see high green volume kicking in here when we break this point of control, and you want to see us flip it into support for higher levels to the upside. Then one altcoin that I'm currently watching that looks a little bit juicy to me is Atom. Okay, I'm here on the 4-hour time frame, and just look, I know it looks a little bit messy. I've just been measuring out some levels over here and just zooming into this, or zooming out of the structure from the low to the high. You can see that we are currently finding support here at the 618 level. right, struggling to break through. What also looks interesting about Atom at this level where we are right now is that it looks like a triple bottom. Okay, there's a double bottom. There's another bottom, so potentially a triple bottom where we are failing to break through the 618 level, where we could find continuation to the upside, breaking this trend and even this trend to the upside. So I'm currently on the lower time frame. Let me just take the scribble out here. Just zooming in here onto the 1 hour, you can see that I am currently tracking this momentum here to the downside and to see if we are going to successfully break through. Also, I can see a double bottom over here, which coincides with a higher time frame. Small little, you have the triple bottom, you have another double bottom over here, and also a double bottom inside of this small range over here. So currently Atom looks a little bit juicy to me. So the first sign of bullish momentum back to the upside would be to break this trend successfully with high volume, where we could come and claim this high once again, but we still have to come and compete with this trend where we could see a rejection to the downside and even bounce here by the 786 level. Just want to zoom out again and show you guys is that if this is a little fake out here to the upside, okay, and let's say we do get the move up and we reject by the trend, the 786 level for me is still a nice little buying opportunity, where if we dip down and we get acceptance back above these lows over here, that would be nice bullish momentum back to the upside, reclaiming the strength that I have over here. Just want to zoom out a little bit further to show you guys where I get that trend, is to say perhaps a nice little fake out, okay, below this trend, still keeping the bullish structure intact, where you're making higher low for continuation back to the upside. Okay, for my trading edge and the easiest trading strategy, please go check out this video right now. Until the next one, cheers for now.